All right. Good morning, sixth grade. It's been a while. Happy to be back on the screen, students. I've had a lot of students come up to me, ask me when's the next video. So I do apologize. Teachers, you've been doing a fantastic job, whether it's been delivering the lessons yourselves or, helping students get caught up on late and missing work. I know last week, Friday, we did a lot with that. As quarter three comes to an end, we want you students to be ready to handle anything for quarter four. We want to put our best foot forward and we want to end the year strong. When our grades are on a steady incline up, it's a good sign. So let's keep working towards that. Students, you've learned a lot this year. Let's just kind of take a moment to think about some of those things, whether it's setting goals. All right, we set a lot of goals early in the year, okay? When we worked on setting those not only long-term goals, but the small goals and then tracking your goals. So let's keep that in mind for fourth quarter, because I'm sure some of you have goals for the end of the school year. And what's even better is we're leading into the summer. So, the better we're doing, I think the happier people will be at home and the more they'll let you kind of have a fun summer and you don't have to go to summer school. All right, that should be motivation. So let's stay focused on the grades, but also remember these are our SEL lessons. We will be doing one from second step today, okay, where we're going to continue talking about our emotions, okay, and how to handle difficult situations and what are some specific techniques we can use, which last week, hopefully you went over some of those techniques. And one of the big ones was deep breathing, okay? Because when we do get angry, our heart rate starts to speed up and deep breathing brings our heart rate down and we can kind of think a little more clearer and maybe we won't say something or do something that gets us in more trouble or something that we regret. All right, so we're going to get into this lesson. But first, my background. For those students who are not big into sports, that's okay. But it is one of the most fun times of the year if you like college basketball or just basketball or sports. It's called March Madness, and it can be a wild time. And at the end of this week and going into next week, there's going to be a bunch of games played. And this is the first time in a while that this team, Georgia Tech, has a chance to well. So we want to acknowledge Georgia Tech because it is a local team. It's right down the street. We could actually get there on the highway in like 15, 20 minutes without traffic. Super close. It's in downtown Atlanta, called Georgia Tech. They are the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. So let's be on the lookout for them. It's one of my favorite teams. So I had to share that on the screen. Sorry, you UGA fans. But as we get into the lesson, okay, so I know last week y'all talked about some of the strategies, okay? The emotion management strategies. So looking at this lesson, we'll pick up, all right? So what works best for you? That's key right there, because this is an individual thing, all right? So in this lesson, we'll learn how to choose the best emotion management strategy for a given situation and for you in particular, all right? That is important. So here are some examples that I don't want to disrupt the classroom discussion. So I will read them out, teachers, and then you can pause me after each one. I'll try to go a little slower so y'all can have talks, and then I'll kind of add a little bit here and there. So for the warm up, you just found out one of your friends didn't invite you to her birthday party. You are really upset. We're going to look at how you react in two different situations. So you just found out you didn't get invited. If you're at home, what do you do to handle that situation and calm down? Versus if you're at school, how do you handle that situation? Because it is two very different settings. Okay, so take a minute and think about those. Teachers, you can pause me now Okay, hopefully you had that discussion, and then we will continue on. But just so you know, students, when you're at home and you figure this information out, you're probably going to have a much more honest, truthful reaction, which could be potentially crying, which could be yelling, maybe some mean words about them, or most likely you're just going to go to your room, okay, and kind of do something to calm you down, whether it's video games, reading, just laying down and looking at the ceiling. I've done those things. Versus when you're at school, you're potentially, you might play it off as, oh, I don't care, they're not actually my friend. You know, it might not be a real, you might be more defensive because you don't want people to see you hurt. Hopefully you had some discussions and some of those things came up, but we will continue on with the lesson. So norms. All right, we're talking about norms for calming yourself down. So norms are guidelines for how people are expected to behave in a particular setting. You see this example, it's a perfect example. Please turn off your cell phones. No cell phones in school. Be here, be ready, be respectful. Those are our norms for school, okay? So we have to have norms for ourselves. You have norms at home. I'm sure your parents or grandparents don't want you talking back to them. Some of them, they expect you to take the garbage out. There are norms, all right? And they're everywhere throughout our whole life. That's important to know. So I'm gonna do my best to share this video. Hopefully it works, teachers. So let's see. If I go share, I need to share the audio. Let's watch this together.
Being at home versus being at school is way easier. At home, I can just be me. Like I can go in my room, shut my door, blast my music, just try to calm myself down from whatever happens or get comfort from my parents. But at school, it's just like, okay, Janiyah, you got to handle this right. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We got to just calm down.
At home, I normally either go to my room to calm down or go on a walk or a bike ride because it's just peaceful outside alone. So at school, it's definitely more like controlled, but it's never something. I'm definitely more mindful of my surroundings and what I say and do there because not only am I'm one of like the upperclassmen, so if it's something that happens while I'm at lunch and there's other like younger kids coming out, I don't want to see me. I don't want them to see me like upset and up in arms and just like yelling at someone about something.
In my school, when I feel upset, I have to go to a secluded area for myself. I had to breathe for like 5 minutes in through the nose, out through the mouth. And it helped me calm down. If I'm home, I actually put my earphones on and I listen to some calming music.
Whenever I get stressed, I usually just read my book. In some classes, I am allowed to read my book, but in others, I just have to take deep breaths because you can't really read your book in the middle of a class.
If I was at home, I would probably get mad at myself and like shut down, sort of self-destruct, pick at my nails and yell. But at school, I would probably just tell myself to take deep breaths and think that it's all going to be okay after.
One situation was with my sibling is we was like just playing a game of basketball, just playing for fun. But he got mad, and so he kept trying to like push us and stuff. I just tried to walk away and calm him down. If I wasn't like in something important, I would just walk away and just leave it. But if I was like in a meeting or something, I can't just walk away. I have to just deal with it.
All right, so there's some good examples there, students, great ones. So what are your norms? All right, what's an acceptable norm for expressing or managing strong emotions when you're with your family or friends? I think we should have discussion here and then I'll show it on the screen. If you want to pause me for a minute. All right, but looking at possible norms, okay. It's okay to express strong emotions. okay? Not okay to show you're angry, depending on family, friends, depending on the situation. Expected to talk through your problems. That's a good one for the counselors. We love that one. Being honest, saying that hurt my feelings. Can we try and figure something out? Or, I don't like how you're talking to me right now. Expected to calm down on your own. All right. This last one, students, that is a society norm. If you are out to dinner, if you are driving in traffic, you are expected to calm yourself down on your own. That is absolutely expected. So we need to know some things that we can do to calm ourselves down. Number one, top of the list should be breathing. I like breathing in through my mouth because I feel like I get more air, and then out through my nose because I can control the release more. There's really no wrong way to do it as long as you're focusing on the breath and you're focusing on calming down, okay? I like in through the mouth, out through the nose, but you can do in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right. So managing emotions in different settings. We won't pick a partner here, okay? We'll just kind of keep it as our class. We'll keep where we are. Teachers, if you feel comfortable picking a partner, depending on your homeroom and your setup, that's okay. So looking at this, pick one emotion management strategy from the list. Is it okay to use this strategy in every setting? Why or why not? All right, so we'll leave it up here. So we have to pick your emotional management strategy. If your emotional management strategy is to punch the pillows to get anger out, where is that acceptable and where is that not acceptable? If your emotional strategy, is deep breathing, where is that acceptable? Where is it not? All right. Hint, that one's acceptable everywhere. So let's write down our emotional management strategies and look and see on this list that's on the screen, where is it acceptable? Where is it not? You can pause me here so you have the settings. Okay. And we'll continue on. So the last thing, with norms in mind, meaning where is something acceptable, what's acceptable in a certain setting, students, it's so important. We can't react in a school with loud yelling and bad language. We don't want you to do that ever, but when you're at school versus when you're just with your friends outside at the park, it's more acceptable in one place than the other. We don't want it to happen, but we got to understand what's acceptable at school. So with norms in mind, write down one emotional management strategy that works for you in each of these settings. So it will work at home, all right, with your family. So maybe you have 4 different ones, or you have your one go-to one, or maybe you have one that you can do at home with families and at school. And then you have a different one with your friends, and maybe you have a different one anywhere. So maybe we can have a couple of different ones throughout here. Students, this is an important part of growing up, okay? This SEL lesson, this whole section of emotion management strategy, it's very important, all right? Not only for in school, but as you see on the screen, whether you're at home with family, if you're out with friends, if you're in the grocery store. There's an old Jay-Z quote. For those who don't know Jay-Z, he is a very well-known, legendary hip-hop artist. Very well-known. I don't know if he coined this phrase, but it's always stuck with me. From a distance, you can't, when 2 people are arguing from a distance, like if you're really far away and there's 2 people arguing, you can't tell who's right and who's wrong. Okay. He uses different words, but all you see is 2 people yelling. So the person who's flailing their arms and doing all this, you're probably going to think they're, a little out of control versus the person who's calmer. All right. So how you react in certain settings is very important. You can look up that quote, teachers, if you don't know it, or students, but it's a great one. So students, let's work on this. Let's see if we can, come up with things. If you need help, please come ask. This is kind of my specialty area, so we'll make sure we get it done. But this is it for the lesson. Make sure we're working today. Hope y'all have a great Tuesday. Last thing, hopefully you guys are still here. For my boys in Ms. Carr's class, I'll keep your names private, but they really want me to catch up on the Barbie Dreamhouse show, and I haven't yet, and I feel bad, but they want me to give them shout outs. So shout outs to Ms. Carr's class. I really do appreciate you boys. You guys make coming to school fun every day. When we interact with you students, we enjoy it. So let's stay positive, keep bringing the energy, and we'll see y'all in the hallways. Have a good day.